Hello, I am Regdrin, and I'm kind of a crazy person.
I'm Stone of Triumph, and I might be more so.
That's why we're playing Urban Chaos Riot Response.
This is Channel 7 News.
This is Lanny York for Channel 7 News. Downtown residential areas have been under attack for the last few months. They were hit especially hard by gangs last month with the biggest arson attack to date. T-Zero rushed in, shut down the gangs, and saved thousands of residents. T-Zero has come under a different sort of fire today. Civil activist Gabe Peeps has spoken out against T-Zero, calling its officers riot thugs. Peeps claims he has proof that Adam Wolf has foreign military connections. Sources tell us the FBI is beginning a full investigation into Wolf's past. If any of the claims are confirmed, T-Zero could be suspended from action. Now a Channel 7 exclusive. This man, who cannot be identified, is revealing shocking new details about the gangs and their operation. In an interview with Channel 7, our informant told us that last year he received anonymous packages and letters. They were invitations to company seminars which involved military training. He ignored the requests and was physically assaulted. He barely escaped and is currently in hiding. Our informant is convinced he was attacked because he chose not to take part in company-sponsored military training. I've just been told that the burners are attacking Garner Square. That's where the AGC peace protest was going to take place tomorrow. The police have evacuated hundreds of people, but sources say there are still many trapped. T-Zero is apparently en route. We'll have more details as they come in. Channel 7, first for news in your city.
So, military corporate team building.
Yes, precisely. I mean, I don't know what the guy was expecting. This sort of thing is pretty well known. Now, I want to admit something, which is, when I was setting up this profile, I forgot a couple of important things, such as setting the controller sensitivity. It's pretty slow by default, and it gives me some trouble.
I left it as is because it actually made headshots easier for me.
Yeah, but I found that I was under-aiming a lot more than I was over-aiming. And also, what I'm doing here with this kind of dilly-dallying is not good for this mission. Also, you know, getting hit with a cleaver, somewhat not good.
You're a cop, you can take it.
Yeah, so that wasn't going so great.
So the burners are trying to fight City Hall.
They are. I've seen that made literal in a couple of other fictional settings as well.
All hell is breaking loose out there. We gotta go save the medic. Come on, let's move.
Mason, save that medic and provide backup.
Remember to keep your weapon loaded at all times.
Okay,
No one's lost a
so...
That's a pretty nice start.
Yeah, the thing is, when they talked about the corporate team-building military training, I just remembered someone described the army as a corporate team-building exercise you can't leave. Or one that lasts for years.
Yeah. It's kind of tough to get headshots when there's allied police officers around, sadly.
Because allied police are actually pretty accurate, but that means the burners will wince a lot.
Yeah. This is also the first area in the game where unlimited enemies will show up. Usually you can tell that an area is going to be like that when there's those NPC policemen there. Of course, there are a few separately scripted enemies. For example, these guys on the building, and also to the right past the gate will spawn when you tell the medic to heal someone.
And they'll just be throwing Molotovs all the time.
Quick, let's go back to the ambulance. Recover us. I'll do what you say.
You like looking at me?
Yeah. I was thinking about what this kind of gang behavior reminded me of, and I was thinking Death Wish 3.
Go on.
Well,
Nice work, Nick.
basically,
Okay.
Death Wish is one of those series like Rocky and Rambo, where it started low-key and then became a very violent cartoon.
Lost a partner who hadn't reloaded his weapon.
Would you also describe this game as a very violent cartoon?
Well, maybe.
These guys will show up after you deliver the first civilian.
Well, the thing is, in this game, it's more ambiguous as to whether you're the good guys.
I guess I can't really argue with that.
We spent so much time coming up with what to call them, and the game already had a name for us as Riot Thugs.
Affirmative. Keep guard. This will take a little while.
So, do you ever use cleavers in this playthrough?
I used them in the first level. And that was just to show off the slice and dice thing. I don't really find them useful otherwise.
Take him down.
Especially since you start with what may be the best melee weapon.
Yeah, I think that the headshot thing isn't really what dooms the shotgun. It's definitely the taser, because if you're at shotgun range, you're also in taser range, and that's easier to use, and of course there's the medals.
Well, I'd like to call a bit of difference here. What you're using is a stun gun. If you're using a taser, well, then the shotgun might actually be more useful.
Okay, yeah. I agree. This stun gun is
You need medical
something...
assistance?
Well, it's definitely sci-fi, first of all. Especially...
It's Force Lightning.
Yeah, if you get all the range upgrades especially, you become the Emperor in Star Wars.
You need any help?
Into that store back there. We gotta save him. This way, Mason.
You need help?
By the way, it's good that you distinguished that this was Urban Chaos Riot Response, because there is another game named Urban Chaos that's a beat-em-up and not as good as this game.
Not nearly. It was made by different people, too.
Yes.
Although, was it published by the same people?
Yeah, I believe it was.
Shit, they got a rocket one. Get in the store. Save the hostage. I'll call for escort. Get a move on. I'll hold this position.
It helps to get your timing down for fighting future enemies. If you can hit them between their shotgun shots rather than just waiting for them to reload, you're in pretty decent shape.
Yeah, that's because there are going to be enemies later where having to shoot quickly between enemy attacks is vital.
Yeah, more so. It's already the core mechanic of the game, but they definitely tighten it up, and by a large margin.
Okay, so the gangs have a rocket launcher.
Yes, we are playing Quake now.
Okay, so let's see what's on the roof. Will we find the rocket launcher guy? No, it's a hostage taker!
Our favorite mechanic.
Yeah, this is when, bullets push you back a lot. Yeah, this is when hostage takers start to do fake outs.
Yeah, they'll just throw something at you.
These are also the only burners to use handguns for quite a while.
Yeah, and that particular handgun type I think is exclusive to hostage takers.
Okay, come on.
Well, he's not actually in front of anything gruesome looking.
Yeah, I think he's just gonna fall off the roof. Got him.
Maybe they're toning things down.
Ha, you wish.
Never mind. Hey, that's his arm right there. Wow. So he just killed someone in one of the most horrifying ways possible, and that's what he says?
Don't worry, the hostage takers' deaths will only escalate from here.
Okay, fine, I'll take your word for it. We got our minigun sequence.
By the way, the reward for getting all of the medals in the game is the minigun.
I do not like minigun sequences, though. Mostly because... well, okay, that's pretty fun. But you don't get to use a shield when you're in these minigun sequences.
And enemies will very often be using hit scan weapons.
Well, that's pretty much the game, but the game is designed so that you can protect yourself against them most of the time.
And you don't have regenerating health either.
No, this is not that kind of game. Oh, he joked about reading people their rights. That's what they joke about in T0.
Look! T0. It's an entire unit of cowboy cops who live on the edge.
And play by their own rules.
Let's see. Look, this is the kind of a game that if it were a movie would have these kinds of one-liners, like Commando. Let off some steam, Bennett. You've seen that, right?
Nope.
Oh.
I assume it's in relation to some sort of horrifying death.
Little.
Don't expect to get too many headshots with this thing, by the way. It happens on occasion, but trust me, it's random. Or close enough that might as well be. I'm definitely not aiming for it because, you know, screen shakes. I also blew up that car just because.
Look, if that car didn't want to be blown up, it wouldn't be in the war zone. Yeah, the thing is, enemies only do those exaggerated flips when you're in when it's a slow-mo kill. Well, couldn't have happened to a nicer guy. That's a mushroom cloud!
Of course it's a mushroom cloud.
Mason, I need you at the crash site ASAP.
An easy-to-miss mask?
Yeah.
Bring him in
Well, I missed that the first time I played, and did a whole lot of walking around because of it.
Mm-hmm. But now we get to go underground.
We sure do.
Nick, this is terrible. Did you see what happened? This officer said that guy who did it went down into the sewer. I'll be okay till backup arrives. Get down there and find whoever is responsible. Hey.
Right, so she just told me to go into the sewer and chase the rocket launcher guy.
I've got another 2.
So can we block the rockets?
Well, we're about to find out. Also, everyone loves sewer levels.
Nobody loves sewer levels.
This one isn't as bad as most because it isn't that much of a maze. The only part that is a little bit hidden is a side area where you find one of the masks.
My least favorite sewer level would probably be the one in Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines.
Really? Well, that's gonna be rough if you're a Nosferatu. Don't you have to basically live in the sewers in that case?
Well, it's not so much that as the fact that it's a really combat-heavy area in a game that usually requires multiple approaches for things.
Or at least allows multiple approaches.
Or even encourages them.
Yeah.
But that's a problem that Bloodlines has throughout some parts of the game, most notably the last leg.
Right. Also makes me think about the bosses in Deus Ex Human Revolution.
Well, they added more approaches for those.
I know that with the first one you can just throw flammable stuff at them, but I don't know about the others.
It beats me, I do combat.
Okay, well... So, That's interesting. The thing that people usually hate about sewer levels is the maze part, but okay, not in that game. Also, this is worth checking out.
I haven't smelled anything like this since Wolf screamed at a new recruit in here.
The first time I played this game, I did not turn the subtitles on, and I did not understand a word she said.
You always turn the subtitles on.
I should always turn the subtitles on.
Yeah, the only sewer level that I actually liked is the subterranean canals in East 2, but that's mainly on the strength of the soundtrack.
Ah, they had some excellent sewer music.
This is why you should finish East 2. This is why you should play East 2. Oh, hey, there's a mask there.
Yep.
You are gonna die!
Hey, there's a goon there.
Yeah, the goons actually do know how to use some of their weapons' secondary functions, like the shotgun guys will fire double barrel if you're close enough to them.
Whoops.
Yeah, well...
Yeah, another thing that kind of dooms the shotgun is that there aren't really many more enemy types.
Or at least none that require you to deal a huge amount of damage.
Mm-hmm.
Like, maybe if there were burners with actual helmets so you couldn't headshot them easily.
And, you know, I was just thinking, if any game was going to have really silly gang-related super enemies, it would be this one.
Oh, so you're thinking about maybe something like Payday, but more so?
Yeah.
Remember, we want the gang leader with the rocket launcher.
Oh, there's Rocket Man.
Yeah, unfortunately I got clipped by the splash damage, so we couldn't test the shield against rockets, which, you know, shot down an armored helicopter. He seems to have a whole lot of rockets, too.
Okay, let's try and block this thing. Well, we can do it.
Yep, it works just fine.
Yeah, I wasn't thinking so much like Payday, but I was also thinking like Narc.
Okay. Yeah, you know what? Maybe I was going a little bit too modern. And although it is, of course, completely ridiculous that I can block a rocket launcher with a riot shield, I do at least appreciate when a game is consistent about how tools work and what they can do.
Yeah, the only thing that can actually knock your shield away is melee attacks.
Yeah, and those don't even damage you if they're blocked. They just disable your shield for a little bit. Best thing to do if that happens is just take a shot while they're still recovering from their melee animation.
Oh, there's your gang leader.
Yep, and he's making it easier for us to catch him. Oh, and that whole we need to find out where he got that rocket launcher thing, that's never actually followed up on.
I think you're expected to read between the lines on some things.
In this game? When did this game do subtlety?
Rocksteady is a different developer.
Stand by to interrogate that gang leader.
Good to see you're okay, Mason. Looks like you found a burner base here. Shit. How long do you figure they've been operating from down here? Right under our noses.
Also,
Got a forensic team
they
on
just,
the
you know,
roof.
opened a manhole and went right there. Why couldn't we do that?
They needed T0 to do the job.
This is Sally Taylor, reporting from outside City Hall, where today a peaceful protest against gang crime turned into a war zone. Protesters were ambushed by members of the Burner Gang, and as the riot escalated, street battles ensued as T-0 were called into action. Onlookers have described a T-0 helicopter being fired upon by a surface-to-air missile. As yet, we have no confirmation of casualties or whether Nick Mason was on board when it was destroyed. Hold on. I see a number of figures leaving the crash site. Yes, I am happy to report I can see Officer Nick Mason, accompanied by a selection of medical personnel. Stay with Channel 7. We'll bring you more news as it happens. Now, back to the studio.
Okay.
I think it also counts as a surface-to-surface missile launcher.
Well, it's a rocket launcher. Yeah, I also like how the game tracks how many bullets you took and how many you actually blocked.
Yeah. Those numbers are often not where I like them to be.
You have unlocked emergency.
Hey, an emergency.
Junkyard. You have unlocked T0 battle.
Everyone loves longer life meters.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna get emergency missions roughly every 2 normal missions from now on.
Yep. Yeah, basically, the last emergency mission is after you capture 10 gang leaders.
Mason, we have another emergency. The transmitter discovered on the gang members has proved police intelligence that a top-secret VIP, paramount to the city's survival, is being held hostage in this location by gang members. Again, only T0 is able to respond, so you're going in solo. You will have access to non-approved T0 prototype weaponry. If you succeed, you earn the weapon permanently. Good luck, Mason.
Okay, we won't be getting any new weapons.
Yeah, from now on we get upgrades to our shotgun and assault rifle in these missions.
Pistols your pistol gets upgraded from medals. So, I see you... Oh, I see you...
Yeah, I want to show off something here.
Great job. The city will thank you.
Great job! We got fired anyway, even though that guy was trying to speak up for us.
Yeah, pretty much all of the emergency missions are more or less the same thing. Which is why you have the manual, right?
Yes, I plan to read an excerpt from it. Although, before I do that, I want to mention that... No wait, I'm wrong. This is all just run and gun, and so... we talked about the main character's backstory a little bit before, but I want to read it word for word from a couple of letters he apparently got before the game started. The first of the 2 letters is Jack's plea, and they're too long for us to read both, so this letter will be in this mission, and the next letter will be in the next emergency mission we do.
Okay, this is a letter from Jack Mason.
Yes. Nick's dad. Dear Nick, well, it's been a few weeks since I last wrote you. Hoping that your posting in Ramondi is going okay, and that the insurgents aren't making too much of a nuisance of themselves on your daily ops. Back at home, things are going from bad to worse. Gang violence has reached a level we've not seen since the crack house wars of the early 90s. And not just in the rough neighborhoods either. The gangs seem to be organizing themselves with almost religious fervor. I don't say this lightly, but it feels like the city is at war with itself. And if something isn't done soon, we're gonna lose the city to the Burners, a group of psycho-terrorist revolutionaries.
Really? No, go on.
Thing is, with the sons of the city overseas, fighting a war that seems like it's hell-bent on nothing, us old-timers are left fighting for the freedom of the city. We need our youngest young men back, our toughest young men back, too. Guys like you, with combat experience, might not have been the first choice a couple of years back. But right now, the mayor and the chief of police are planning to take the fight to the gangs. We gotta meet these bastards head-on their terms. Soft policing doesn't work with these animals. Wow, it's not easy to do that. Hot lead, flashbangs, and good old-fashioned brutality is the only language they understand. A zero-tolerance task force of tooled-up cops seems like the only way to rid the city of this cancer. If the mayor gets his way, we're gonna be ready to hit back by the end of next month. I don't want to sound like a broken record, but the Masons have always been city cops. And while I know you made your decision and have made the Marine Corps your life, maybe now you should be rethinking where your loyalties lie. To the city and folks that nurtured you. Or to those suits in Washington who seem more interested in lining their pockets than anything else. I'll say no more, but you wouldn't recognize our neighborhood. It's gone to hell, and I need to get back on shift in a couple of hours. Back in the eye of the storm again, trying to get more intel on these burner assholes. Anyway, son, I'll say so long now. Will you write me soon and tell me what you think? Maybe staying in the Corps feels like the right thing to do career-wise. Your family and city needs now. Love, Jack.
So, psycho-terrorist revolutionaries.
Yep. That's street gangs, alright. Also, so going with the Marine Corps with insurgents was apparently the easy way out. That's the cushy assignment by comparison.
Well, you know what it's like in the inner city?
It's exactly like this, right?
Not really.
No, I didn't think so.
Yeah, I kind of...
Go ahead.
Yeah, I kind of lived in the inner city for a year and a half working on my first master's degree. And, this didn't happen very often.
Only a little bit.
Great job. The city will thank you for this. I'll make sure of it.
Are you serious this time?
Yes.
Okay. Because you said that you'd make sure that city would thank me last time, and look what happened.
Well, let's see what you got for your troubles. You know, usually if a gang loses 46 members, they just pack it up and,
Well, we're gonna get more explanations later.
Okay. So, let's see what we got for our troubles, besides the shotgun upgrade.
You have unlocked the shotgun Mark II.
It does more damage and holds more ammo.
You have
We got
unlocked
more
an
pistol
extra
ammo.
pistol clip.
And more grenades.
That last one is going to be really
belt.
useful once I remember to use them. We're going to have a greater need for them in the future, though.
Oh, yes.
Trust me on this. And that's about the end of this video, so we'll see you later.
At the dockyard. See you then.